back field and the rattlesnake master to come and put on some salamander bug no bite me. And um, so we'll just we'll just put some of this on. This is lovely stuff. Salamander, it's always around the house. You just put it on. It smells pretty good. In the elbows. Out in the back field, there's a lot of more mosquitoes than I thought. They came out in swarms. And this is usually the thing that works. Salamander, we love you. Bug no bite me. Put a little on his neck. There we go. This should have us good. Okay, let's go see some rattlesnake master. Come on, George. Let's go. Go take a little walk around the farm. Here at Lazy Dirt Wildflower Farm, it is Tuesday evening. I try to walk slow for a change. I usually walk slow in the morning, but it is a Tuesday evening. It's August 11th, I believe, and it is a beautiful evening. We lose about an hour of sun because of these trees. Of sun daylight shades the garden and puts everyone to bed early, or than normal. Go out to the end of the road and it's all bright sunshine. But the phlox paniculatas don't know that. Aren't they pretty? These during the day are usually full of bees and hummingbirds. This is obedient plant growing. Some liatris over there. Cardinal flowers. This is the meadow where I've been working on creating a new design for the meadow walk. And it includes lots of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful swamp milkweed. Isn't that gorgeous? Ah, and it smells so sweet. This patch has been a little slow to take off, but it's doing well because we have 3, 4, 5 blooms, but look at all the babies coming up behind it. So this is where patience pays off. When you look at your native perennials, or any perennial really, just remember that even if they're not blooming, there's a lot of action going on beneath the soil. They're establishing roots. So as long as your perennials look healthy, they're doing fine. And if they're a native perennial that's not quite blooming yet, it's full of leaves like these guys down here, just remember caterpillars eat leaves, not flowers. So let's go back and see the rattlesnake master. I'm super excited to share this with you because until a few years ago, I didn't know about rattlesnake master. And I stumbled on it in a meadow and just went, oh my goodness, who are you? Now this is the meadow walk. These are the rudbeckias. If you're around this weekend, Thursday through, hi Carson. If you're around this weekend in Central New York, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm giving away some free Rudbeckia triloba plants. Oh yes I am, because I have tons. This plant, a electric aura, is this is Rudbeckia triloba. The other plant with the pink flowers I just showed, that is swamp milkweed. So if you have any questions, just ask in the comments below. I will try to get to them after. But this, my friends, is the meadow walk. This is always in progress. Always. You can see my umbrella fell over. I haven't been out here today. I watered last night and kind of got the ball rolling on a bunch of stuff. And usually I go through here every day, but this morning was a little busy with sending out newsletters. Look at this. This isn't even doing the justice. The camera isn't catching the color, but really it's like a bright purple. It's not this pink. It's this beautiful lavender purple. Absolutely gorgeous. This is Phlox paniculata. these lovelies. Look at the seeds forming in there. Soon we'll be able to shake that Baptisia bush and hear rattling, and that'll tell us the seeds are ready. This is another rudbeckia on the way to the Rattlesnake Master. That is Rudbeckia submentosa. It is a rudbeckia that blooms a little later. It likes a little bit more shade, and it likes damp to dry soils, and it's doing really, really lovely there. This is bone set. The first batch of bone set is the first time it's been in bloom since we planted it last fall as little tiny babies. And this is the meadow walk. Everything here is, we're a working farm and constantly working on projects, including a little niche sitting area over here. Not that I get to sit very often, but guests to the farm do. When you come visit, you get to sit. I'll just stand here and talk about plants all day. So there's some more phlox. And this is the big project that's going on. Look at this hot mess. Oh, how'd you like to have that in your backyard? That is, this is a project where we're taking down, there's a video on my YouTube here about how we're taking this out and putting in flower beds and all sorts of stuff going on over there with a wood chipper. Lots of fun. The Monarda's all done. Look at this beautiful seed heads these are going to have. Oh, and look. Oh, we're almost at the, what I affectionately call the Rattlesnake Master patch. So this was supposed to be Rattlesnake Master, purple coneflowers, asters, and goldenrods. Obviously, that has not worked out the way that I thought. There are asters and purple coneflowers in here, but the Queen Anne's lace and the daisy fleabane, this was all disturbed soil. So of course, the daisy fleabane, which is this lovely plant, it's a native plant. Tiny, tiny bees love it. Look, they're closed up to go to sleep. Let's see if we can stop dancing now. Aren't they pretty? Tiny, tiny bees love that. But anyway, we're back here to talk about Rattlesnake Master. Ooh, ah. So here we go. This is one patch of Rattlesnake Master. Aren't they lovely? Let's see if we can get a good camera view. Look at this. Aren't they pretty? They are little spiky balls with thousands of flowers in each one. Let's see if we can get a good. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to go grab my cheat sheet. We'll see the other Rattlesnake Master patch that has kind of come out the way it was supposed to. You know, never ever worry about your garden not being like a, like a magazine. It is what it is. It's constantly changing. Your garden, constantly changing and evolving as it should. So this patch worked out pretty good because the coneflowers came in. You can see them. Now, both of these plants attract butterflies, wasps, hummingbirds. So this has been a great patch to watch bee activity, especially. Now, if only the bees would go back and pick up my umbrella back there. So anyway, let's talk about Rattlesnake Master. So Rattlesnake Master is Eryngium eucifolium. And yes, friends, I'm cheating. I have a notebook. I can't remember my middle name, let alone all the details about all these beautiful plants. It's a member. Sometimes it's called button snake root or bear grass, which is kind of a cool name, isn't it? Bear grass. I have to start calling you bear grass. Kind of cool. Anyway, it's a member of the carrot family. It is native to the 48 North American United States and Canada. It's a perennial. It has obviously spiky leaves that are a deterrent to deer. See all them little spikes on there? So deer don't like that, so they won't graze it. It blooms white to silver blue in June through August. Sometimes I will find blooms out here in September, depending on how the weather is. Friends, if you could see me right now, I am swarmed by mosquitoes. Oh my goodness gracious. segue while I fan away the mosquitoes to the coreopsis. Aren't they pretty over there? The cosmos. Those are sulfur cosmos. Anyway, back to the rattlesnake master patch. These are native also to the Great Lakes, all the way down to Florida. They like moist soil, damp but well-draining soil. I have not had much success with them being in wet soil, that gets constantly flooded, when it rains, like a rain garden. I haven't had much success with that. So I would imagine that they would be happiest on the peripheries of a pond where they get a little bit of water, but then it dries out and fluctuates. A great companion grass is little blue stem and rudbeckia. Any of the rudbeckias would do well with these, especially that rudbeckia submentosa I showed you. Cone flowers you'll often find in fields, but you'll find these, when you see tall plants like this has just been my experience. When you see a tall plant like this, now I am 4'11" on a good day. This right here is up to my shoulder, so it's about 3.5 feet tall. Tall plants like this really do well when they have a little competition. And that is why I planted my asters and everything and my coneflowers in this patch super, super tight. And you can see how much taller these stems are. I mean, they're going to be tall on their own, but a little competition for them just brings out their height and wanting to be the top flower in the patch. So little blue stem will give them great competition. Now, if you have not seen little blue stem, let's go over and see what little blue stem looks like. I went to not Edgewood. I'll put it in the notes. I went to this beautiful nursery in eastern Massachusetts. I can't remember whose name it is, but this, friends, is little blue stem. Isn't she beautiful? That plant right there is in its third year, and it is only about 3 feet tall. So you can imagine if these rattlesnake masters were right there next to it, how that little blue stem would actually support the plant and keep these stems from falling over like this guy here. I'll give him some support tomorrow. But what I did was I planted everybody really, really close, and it seems to be working out really well. So let's talk about these flower heads, because these flower heads are really unique for a native plant. Let's see if I can get you a good close-up. Okay, see each one of those little dots on the flower head there? See them? Each flower stalk can produce at maturity up to 40 flower heads. So for instance, we can look at this one stalk right here. Let's take this guy. Look at all the flower heads on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's almost 20 flower heads on this one stalk. Now, let's talk about those little flowers, shall we? As I wisp away the mosquitoes. Each flower head, so each one of these pretty little palms, are you ready for it? It has over 100 flowers, individual flowers. Each one of those little palms right there on the tiny spikes are a flower head. So there's over 100 flowers. So it can produce, the plant can actually produce up to 4,200 seeds from one plant. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I read this on the Native Plant Trust, and I could not believe it. And I will put, I'm dodging mosquitoes. I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I should put it on the tripod. Next time, next Tuesday, I'll put it on the tripod, and I will wear tough bug repellent. Can you imagine how many wonderful plants one plant of this can produce? Absolutely stunning. Now, who comes to these? Now, during the day, this is one of the reasons I started doing these at 7 o'clock at night, because during the day, these plants are covered with bees, wasps, and butterflies. I don't want to be out here zooming in and zooming out, moving plants around while pollinators are having their breakfast or lunch or dinner. It's against my rule, personally. I don't like to disturb them, and they don't disturb me, especially the biting ones. Well, except for the mosquitoes. The little darlings. The little darlings. Let me just take a break to appreciate the wonder of mosquitoes, shall we? Just a moment. Just a moment. So anyway, rattlesnake master is a host plant for the eryngium. Ready for this? The eryngium stem borer moth, which is very important for you to know because that moth is a candidate for the endangered species list. So when you plant this, because it's a host plant, rattlesnake master, plant a nice couple drifts of rattlesnake master in your garden. They don't take up a lot of room. You know, that combined with not spraying pesticides and leaving your leaves and all the wonderful habitat gardening things we do will provide a home for, make sure I get this right, the eryngium stem borer moth. And it won't have to go on the endangered species list because you planted its host plant in your garden. Yes, yes, yes. Now hold on. There's more facts here. Hold on my little piece of paper. I did my homework. Let's see. Oh, yes. So when you collect your seeds, let's talk about growing your own rattlesnake master. I would show you my face, but I am just swarmed by mosquitoes. Okay, let's go for it. So, hello friends. So, rattlesnake master. When you sow your seeds, when these seed heads dry up completely, you're going to you only need, look, I just told you, remember, these seeds will produce, one of these flower ball stems will produce like 200 seeds. So you only need to take one. You don't have to take the whole stem. You don't have to take the whole bunch. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Just take one or two of these. You're going to cold stratify them. They need cold stratification. And what cold stratification does, I'm going to turn this around. What cold stratification does to the seeds is look at the garden manicure. Look at that. Anyway, what the cold stratification does, my friend, is that prepares the seed, the embryo in the seed, and the seed coating for germination in the spring. So important. And you don't need plastic trays and all this stuff to cold stratify your seeds. You just don't. All you need are some used jars, a little bit of clean sand or vermiculite, and your seeds. Mix them dry, 50-50, seeds to sand, your rattlesnake master seeds. You're going to take 2 pods of this, put them in a coffee can with a stone or quarter, shake it up. The seeds will fall out, and you'll put them in a jar and add clean, dry sand and shake it up together with the lid on, of course. Don't do like I did. And add a little bit of damp water, and that will moisten your seeds, and then just label it, date it, put how many days it needs for cold stratification. In this instance, these need 60 days, so 2 months of cold stratification. And then when those are done, then just add it to your calendar, and in the spring, sow your seeds. No plastic required, nothing fancy. Super, super easy. And then just take a wooden tray or sow the seeds right on bare soil early spring, maybe by your coneflowers. And there you go. You could have your own rattlesnake master plants. Super, super easy. I promise. I absolutely promise. Look at all these mosquitoes. Oh, terrible, terrible little vermin. Anyway, that's me from the Rattlesnake Master Patch this evening. And let's turn this around. There we go. We'll see all the Rattlesnake Master. I will try to come out tomorrow and take a video and post it on my YouTube shorts so you can see all the pollinator action. This is where I found my very first, just a couple weeks ago, my very first cicada killer wasp. It was as big as my thumb. It was like this big on the flower. Huge, huge wasp. And I showed her lots of respect. So anyway, that's it from the pollinator patch. If you'd like to see something different about the farm or about native plants, um, let me know. Put it in the comments below. And look, I'm even in a clean shirt. How amazing is that? I can't tell you what a miracle that is, friends. Um, so I'm a farmer. And so that's it. That's as simple as it is. It's just putting your plants in and just letting the wild kind of take over just a little bit. And then keeping your edges clear. And then you'll be amazed who comes to see your rattlesnake master. And I'll post a video tomorrow about who comes to the rattlesnake master. So if you like this video, you want to see more videos of it, videos on the fly, as we say. And oh, what is going on over there? I have a hot mess going on, friends. So I gotta go. It involves my cat. And I'll be back. George, let him go. Go on. Oh, I won't tell you what he had. Thank God it wasn't a bird. He's got something from the dog. I don't know. Oh, rude, George. Just rude. He's always photobombing my videos. Always. That cat. Oh. Anyway, before I go, friends, let me make a suggestion on what to put with your rattlesnake master. One more suggestion. One more suggestion. Okay. So I mentioned the little blue stem over there because it will hold and support. Yes, there's baby rattlesnake masters in there and baby coneflowers. But you could also put in some liatris, some pretty liatris. You could put in lavender down at its feet, possibly. Definitely lots of purple coneflower. Oh yeah, definitely lots of purple coneflower. I mean, look how happy they are together. I mean, just look. Isn't that lovely? Let's get out of the shot of my garden hose because I had to water. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? But the other thing you might want to put in, like along the edges of the rattlesnake master. My friend Mary gave me these, and I'm so excited about them because I love bright colors. And these are sulfur cosmos. Look at that. Wouldn't those be pretty with your purple coneflowers and your rattlesnake masters? Oh yeah, you can pick some of them tomorrow, baby. Let me tell you. The other thing you could put in with your rattlesnake master are some clustered mountain mint. Those would do really well and keep the deer from eating your purple coneflowers. See, it really does work. And you could also put in some wild bergamot, some anise hyssop. All those would do really, really well with your rattlesnake master. I'm not too sure about the phlox, though back here the phlox does very well and the rattlesnake master is not 3 feet away with the purple coneflowers. But the phlox tends to like a little bit drier soil, and this bed is actually raised up. But I say, have a go. What's the worst case scenario? It's not soup. Gardening is not soup. You can always take a plant out. Not a big deal. Take the plant out if it's not working out, you know? Look at the color of this purple coneflower. Look how different. Isn't that amazing? And yeah, that's my suggestion. Grow some rattlesnake master. At least, at the very least, this beautiful plant is going to make the neighbors wonder what you're up to. Don't you think? I mean, look at this thing. It's so unique and beautiful. And yes, you can use it as a cut flower if you want. Make sure you cut down low so you get more blooms. But it doesn't like to be cut heavy. I just got to warn you, if you're a flower farmer watching, this is not, like cutting zinnias. It's not a one and cut and come again. It is a one and maybe think about it. But I'm just saying, look at the purple coneflower with those rattlesnake masters. Absolutely beautiful. So that's it from Lazy Dirt Wildflower Farm. I hope you've enjoyed this video and this little live on the fly session. Live from the farm as it is. Try not to get too fancy with these things. We just kind of come as we are to the room, to the farm, to the flowers. Flowers don't care what you're wearing, friends. They just care that you're not spraying pesticides and you're not killing bugs and you're supporting the birds. That's all they want. They want a little bit of sunshine. They want a little bit of water. They want clean soil. They don't care about your hair. They don't care how much money you make. They don't care what kind of car you drive. They don't even care what kind of music you listen to, as far as I know, because they've listened to AC/DC when they were over in the wood trays. And classical music, too. All sorts of crazy music. So far, I haven't seen a preference. Have you? I didn't think so. Anyway, I have to go inside now because I have to go put some witch hazel on my mosquito bites that I got earlier. As one lands on my hand. Rude. Anyway, I wish you a lovely summer evening, and I will see you next Tuesday at 7 o'clock here live for a short. These are supposed to be short, but let's face it, Rattlesnake Master is so cool. We had to talk about it extra. And, we had to walk in from the field and all that. But I will see you next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. here at Lazy Dirt Wildflower Farm. Until then, till next time, cheers to you and your bees too.